ridiculous.
Shit, me too. I want to get some matches though.
Look, I love my wooden matches, but sometimes it should be too
Sometimes,
much
yeah.
It is.
And the wooden
Sometimes,
matches
yeah.
do bring something out of the cigar.
They
It's
do.
subtle,
They
but
do.
it brings something out of it. But
Yeah.
The wooden matches.
yeah.
I got a nice plume on this boy, though. Got a nice plume on there. Been aging this boy for a while.
What is that?
Yeah.
That's Cohiba?
No, this Boulevard.
Now this is what I found impressive right here. I know
shit.
something like that.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Cases, yeah.
I stepped my cigar game way up. To give me a new
Walking around
little
with
humidor
y'all.
and all that kind of shit.
I hope y'all know from time to time, I'm just, I might even sit over there. I just want to be, so I can pick up stuff. It's
Fuck
good
with
to
it.
Shit, yeah.
smoke and drink with some folks other than my goddamn self at the house.
Man, I'm always down to talk about some
Live in the building, what up,
cigars,
though?
Whenever.
Because right now,
Now listen, we in a happy
You know
hour.
what I
I'm
mean?
sitting in the garage.
BBW. Let me get that. Yeah. Can you pick that whole shit up and put it on the not that the strip, the power strip. I think it just fell.
I like that box he got over there.
Shit.
Oh, yeah.
This who gave it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was telling you about that
Last time I was over
shit.
here.
Yeah, I bought a new
Niggas go throw this shit away, bro.
That's
Yeah.
dope.
I bought a new one. I was
That
like,
shit hard to
let me throw
sell.
this shit out. And I was
Rita,
like,
what
hold
up,
up. I was like, yeah, get it to this nigga.
Or is it holding on to some shit?
I've
Okay,
been
can you
looking
lift it
on
all the way
Facebook
up?
how they, they be
I'm talking about
selling,
up here.
reselling shit.
Cause I need to
I'm
get
on
the
phone.
charger off that motherfucking and it won't reach. Oh, then it's stuck. All right, take that iPhone charger out for me. All
I
right,
don't think can I? Yeah, I hear you, man. Okay. Yeah.
Rita, what up, though?
Rita. What
are
up,
now-
though, Rita?
You are now chimed in.
I don't think Rita ever seen me in person. This Bo, what's happening, Rita?
Oh yeah, she ain't never seen. So here you go. You are now chimed in to BBW Live. Now I'm talking about we just had a dog ass show and I'm drunk a little bit, but it's okay.
A little bit.
Oh
I
yeah.
am a little lit.
A little bit.
Yeah, real quick.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Cause we was for sure drinking Buffalo Trace before y'all got here. So all right, I'm trying to get to my IG
I
Live.
got my damn cigar stand.
We gotta check this one. There's another one right there.
Oh, shit, okay.
Yeah, I got you. I bought 3 and shit.
I heard that cork pop too.
Mike Doe, what's the dilly?
Mike Doe.
Live in the building, man. It's I know most of y'all is our normal wake and bake people and shit, but we doing beers, bourbon, whiskey today. This our live joint, and I see the
It's the cousin show.
here's the cousin show,
Right.
and I see damn that's good bourbon distillery already posting and shit. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That boy he a social media aficionado now.
Okay.
I'm getting there.
All right, here we go with the IG. We got a little IG live action. There it is, IG live.
So when you talk about novice, that's me. Social media.
Now it's on social media. I got you on that.
Because I have zero.
This
and I mean,
whiskey and bourbon shit, though. I'm a novice to that.
I barely have an internet footprint, so
You got it now. Inspired Chats just checked in. What up, though? Dukes
What
and
up,
Dams
though?
Detroit. What up, though? Dukes and Dams Detroit. We gonna get some bottles of y'all stuff here soon, hopefully, because we already got Uncle Nearest down here, as y'all can see that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we say in the on every show, man. Uncle Nearest, shout out to Uncle Nearest, who are not our sponsors, but we just love that shit. All right, just want to make sure y'all know that, man. We in the motherfucking building, man. Let's do this shit, dog. So it's the happy hour, BBW-Happy Hour, dog. Today, we actually had a show about our whiskeys and bourbons under $20. So we had an under $20 show, which obviously is not the Uncle Nearest, all right. But we had the Evan Williams, Four Roses, and Jim Beam. All right, so if you just switching over and you needed to try to like kind of bourbon on a budget, then we got some $20 and less joints right here that we just talked about. So make sure that you do tune in 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on eblockradio.com to check out the newest episode of Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey. But right now, this is the happy hour, dog. So let's talk about some shit, man. We got some shit to talk about, bro.
Let's talk about it.
We done talked about a few things, bro. So real quick, we was gonna talk about, and we still probably will. We had some other topics, but we had just started talking about the new, I guess we call it a stimulus package. I guess we call it.
Yeah.
That just got
COVID
passed.
relief.
Yeah, COVID relief.
There
yeah.
you go.
So it kind of go with what we talking about anyway. So let's talk about the COVID shit first. So shout out to my man Soul Deacon. If y'all, of course, y'all don't know him
Soul
yet
Deacon.
because we just recorded, so y'all haven't met him yet. So I guess we gotta go through the whole thing again and shit. All right, so shit, you know who it is, man? It's me. All right, then you got everybody else. All right, so no. Thank y'all for checking in on our live, man. Again, this is the BBW Happy Hour, dog. It's your boy Q Lewis holding it down live from the 48205. I got my man Bo in the building.
I say.
Got my man Soul Deacon in the building.
Hey, what up, though?
My man Angry Principal holding it down.
What's up?
All right, so this is the Happy Hour, man, where we talk a little shit after we drink some whiskey and bourbon, dog. And today we talking about some COVID shit and we talking about some COVID relief. So yesterday, Soul Deacon sent me a text message with a story from, I think it was CNN or USA Today, one of the two, about the COVID, new strand of COVID running in the UK. All right, so we talked about this shit before. Obviously, we knew some shit was going to happen. There's going to be a new strand coming out, all that shit. But I think where this... And this is probably going to be one of them conversations. But I have been reading a lot of things about, conspiracy theories about, the New World Order and people trying to, or people being separated from their faiths and shit, right? So on that UK article, it specifically said that this new strand coming out, it passed along quicker than ever. It's not been proven to have a higher mortality rate, but you can just, it's easier transmitted is what they're saying. All right, so with that being said, they are saying that they want to do like a complete lockdown for one day, and the one day is Christmas, right? So I'm looking at that shit like, damn, so Christmas is the one day. Now they saying it's because that's a holiday where a lot of people get together and like it's gonna probably be a lot of people. But then I started thinking about all them conspiracy theorists who said that, this was just a plot to separate people from their faith. And then I was thinking like, damn, that would kind of make sense though. Like you want everybody to basically not do Christmas shit, right? So ain't that kind of in that same vein of like being manipulated to kind of separate you from your faith and shit? I don't know. I might have overthought that.
Because your faith is wherever you decide to practice it.
And that's what I think. That's what you're saying. Yeah, that's what you're saying.
It doesn't matter where you decide. If I decide to do a Zoom call with my brothers, and instead of them being in my house, then, we do a Zoom call. I'm still hanging with them. I'm still celebrating as a family, but it has nothing to do with my faith. Those are two totally separate things. Remember, Christmas is you either got the commercialized part or you got the religious part. Yeah, you got to choose which one you're dealing with at whatever time. Now, you may participate in both. Yeah, but they're two separate things. Yeah. So me, giving thanks or praying on Christmas morning for the birth of Jesus is different than me going to hang out with my family because we got to exchange gifts. Those are two separate things.
Yeah, I guess.
Totally
I don't know. I think I'm caught up in the shit. I'm caught up in the hype, dog. I'm starting to feel like I'm starting to feel like it's something.
I don't know.
Something bigger at play.
Christmas, right? Like, cats go to church on Christmas to celebrate or praise God or whatever the hell they do. I don't know.
For sure.
But I don't know. I guess I look at the history of Christmas.
Yeah.
Like, initially it was like a pagan holiday. Romans used to do some foul shit on Christmas and shit like that. Back in the day.
Romans did some foul shit. Period.
Yeah.
Or whatever day. Nigga.
So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if I can get with the whole conspiracy theory about separating people from their faith. Just because I don't really consider myself like a practicing Christian or anything like that anyway, right? You know what I mean? If I want to get spiritual, I'm going to get spiritual no matter where the fuck I'm at. So that's how I feel about it. I can see, like, I can see the premise. I can see where they're coming from. Let me say that. Yeah. But, like, no, because I can't go to church or go to whatever place of worship.
Right. My man Julius just checked in. What up, though? That's my guy out in Colorado and shit, man.
Yeah, I remember the Christmas tree as far as the pagan holiday.
Shout out to the plug.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, but you talking about that's a fertility tree. You talking about celebrating the fertility with the lit balls on a tree that looks like a phallic instrument. You talking about that? This nigga just took this shit to a whole nother level. But that's initially what the pagan holiday.
Bro, you took this shit to a whole nother level.
I'm talking about lights on a tree that's actually a phallic looking type of shape that
bro, I never even thought about that shit.
Talking about the lit balls on top of it. So
lit balls.
Yeah. So and if I'm wrong, please feel free to correct me.
The balls lit, boy.
Yeah, you talking about a totally different thing. So you mixing two things that have, the Christmas tree has nothing to do with what goes on with your religion or your faith. And if you're mixing the two together, you're wrong. And understand where that Christmas tree and where commercialized comes from.
Right. Damn.
Those little balls.
Okay, this
on
nigga,
the tree.
This nigga had a little balls.
Sticking up in the air.
He just did that shit through all
I mean,
the
it's a fertility celebration. So celebration of fertility. That's what the original pagan holiday was about. So,
Word.
you know,
Me neither.
if
Damn, you just schooled me on some shit.
Right. So if that's what you into, you make that your end all be all.
Personally, I try to celebrate fertility whenever I get a chance to celebrate it. You know what I mean?
Shout out to fertility.
Yeah, fertility. Shout out to you, boy.
Hell yeah.
Whenever you want to celebrate, I'm game. For real.
In my inbox.
DMs and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
DMs and everything. No, but with that shit though, so they say it's a new strand or whatever, which obviously we knew that shit was coming. Like, you know, that shit would go come. Now I still think that at this point I still feel like it's some kind of a scare tactic. I know that it's real. Like, obviously I know it's real because niggas dying, but I think that the numbers are increasing regardless. Like, you know, whether you're in lockdown or not, I think the numbers increasing regardless. Them adding that to it, like saying that like this is a different strand that's spreading even faster. I think that could theoretically be some kind of scare tactic. So if that's the case, is there a overlying like agenda? Like for this?
There always is overline. Always.
What do y'all think it is though? So if it's not that separating people from their faith, what do y'all think the over?
Remember the virus is mutated. So you only have second or third strand of this virus. This vaccination everybody taking has to deal with the first strand. We're not talking about the second and third strand that we know right now.
And see,
that's why Europe is talking about shutting down, because it's different.
But this is why I question all that shit too, though, is because in that same article that the studies are saying that the transfer rate is higher, but they can't prove that the mortality rate is higher, and then they saying it doesn't affect the vaccine's effectiveness. How the fuck can that be?
They don't know. This just happened.
Yeah.
So
why would they even say that?
It's a disclaimer. They're just putting that out.
Yeah, I guess so.
The one thing that's happened over these last 10 months is that we know how to treat the disease different than we knew in March.
Right.
So but you still have, because it's a mutated virus, you got a higher death rate right now.
Right.
Than it was before, because it's mutated and some of the things that were working before aren't working anymore.
Well, they saying that they can't prove that the mortality rate is higher though. So are more people dying or not?
When you got 3,000 people dying per day just in the United States, when it was before 1,500 or 1,100,
I got you.
3,000 just came up in the last 2-3 weeks.
Gotcha.
But then you're hitting that 3,000 mark.
People are going to ask the question. They're going to say, is it due to the mutation, or is it due to people just not really giving a fuck about what's going on anymore?
Both.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly, right?
Both.
But I'm saying people are going to use that information to back up their agendas, no matter whatever that
agenda is, right? For sure. I feel you on that shit, dog. It's some crazy shit though. And just speaking on that, if we talking about the whole COVID thing, now we just was made aware that there's a new resolution, I guess we'll call it, for COVID release. Now this is just going to basically be voted on. This haven't been nothing that's approved already, right? Or do y'all know?
The vote comes in soon, but the agreement has basically been set by the Senate, not the House, but the Senate came up with their plan. The House now has to go through and they have to vote on whether or not they're going to accept the changes from the Senate. And then they'll mix in the things that they want put in there also. So it's not over with yet.
Yeah. So it still might be a while.
Because you got to remember how they work too. Like the House holds the purse strings. You know, they pay all the bills, and sign all the checks, all that stuff. You know what I mean? And the Senate, you know, they not necessarily, you know, as worried about the financial things, but like Angry Principal just said, you know, at some point they got to come to like some type of agreement. And like you said, maybe they did or whatever, but they still got to go through that whole process.
So think of the House as the woman with the money in her bra, and the Senate is the dude that's coming home from work. Like, what we doing?
Right.
Exactly. Basically, what's coming.
Where you want to go eat?
Right.
Where you want to
go eat?
Right.
For real.
Let's go get Mexican. I don't want Mexican. I want Chinese. Well, how come you ain't say that?
Because they don't ever fucking know what they want to do.
Why can't we have Mexican?
Did I just turn this into a whole new topic?
You did. They don't ever fucking know what they want to do, bro.
I'm fine with that.
My man Mel, what up, though? Mel,
what's happening, Mel? What's up, baby?
That's my guy, man.
That's my guy. Back in the East Side Raiders.
For sure.
You know
you got to pull up on us one day, dog. We recording our show, dog. Normally record on Saturdays. But yeah, you can pull up on us. Cause I see you be smoking stogies too and shit. So you pull up, drink some bourbon with us and shit on the show. But so I think Now with this though, because I know that the first time this went around, the first time that they had like COVID relief, some of these small business loans, shit like that, went to a lot of these larger businesses that we didn't think even should have got it. Do y'all think it's gonna be some kind of like real regulation to make sure that small businesses actually get their hands on this money this time, or nah?
Now that you have a Democrat going into office, you'll see Republicans trying to put reins on how the money is spent.
Yeah.
Now they're going to do it because you have a Democrat in office. And if Georgia, please Georgia, go out and vote and get those Democrats in office.
Yeah.
Then we can see some actual stuff happen the way it's supposed to. I'm watching Bo's face because he is like really tripping right now. But
he don't have no faith in the government.
There's a senator out of Wisconsin. I want to say his last name is Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
He is all of a sudden fiscally responsible when he just signed on to a vote no objection type vote for the defense bill, which is over $1 trillion. Now, what do you need $1 trillion defense bill budget for when this gun that worked last week is going to work
working out
next week?
Right.
What do you need $1 trillion for another thing? That $1 trillion that went towards the defense bill could easily be transferred over to the people that's actually in this country that need it.
I tell you why that defense bill is $1 trillion. Because these motherfucking generals and shit like that be flying their helicopters, out to the motherfucking ranges when it's only 6 miles away and shit. Motherfucker, get your ass out the helicopter and come rock with the rest of us, goddamn it. Walk your ass over shit.
I can't speak on that. Never been in the military, so I got
I can't speak on that shit.
Right.
Hey, how's it going on the range today?
Right.
Motherfucker, I'm tired. I walked my ass all the
I
way up
walked
here.
6 miles. You got in the helicopter.
Then I had to put this goddamn mask on and shoot this shit out here, and you flying in talking about, hey, how's it going? How you think it's going, motherfucker? Shit.
Hey, big man or regular man? Hey, we gonna have to get you a little bobblehead in the corner and shit, like the motherfucking manometer and shit. Nigga head just bobbling.
The beige range.
Right, beige range. Facts though. I'm really hopeful though, like for real. I don't have real faith in the government and shit, but I am hopeful that some things happen to actually put small businesses like in the position that they need to be, because at this point, I know that the world operates on big corporations. That's just what it is, because it's a capitalist society. It actually, it works off of them. But what these big corporations got to understand too is that it's a lot of small businesses that keep their ass in business. You know what I'm saying? Like if small businesses wasn't doing certain things, these big corporations wouldn't be able to do shit. So like at some point, you got to recognize that shit. And I know we've been saying that as black people for a long time, because we always been at the bottom of the totem pole doing all the work, but not getting none of the motherfucking, none of the credit. So is
none of the credit?
Huh?
You went out and voted, didn't you?
Here we go.
What? None of the credit?
Here we
and
go.
All your problems should be solved right now.
This nigga.
I'm sorry.
You not though. You really not
I'm
sorry.
really not. No,
you really
I'm
not
really
sorry.
not.
You not sorry, nigga. No, anyway, though. But with that shit though, like I said, I am hopeful though, because I think that especially with the pandemic, a lot of people have been kind of some people been forced out their jobs, or some people been forced to do like more creative shit. And I think because of that, a lot of small businesses have spawned out of that. So I'm hopeful that these resources will be again made available for the people who can actually use it. Like these corporations, man. I know some of these corporations do, or at some point may need help to keep their employees and stuff, but some of them bailouts is just ridiculous though. Like
may need help to keep their employees.
Yeah.
See, this is where this is.
I mean, I'm just
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this is the shit that fires me up, right? Because I work in corporate America, unfortunately. But anyway, like I see these executives and these directors and these top level managers and whatnot.
Yeah.
No matter if they laying people off or not, like these niggas get paid. They get bonuses and they get all this shit. Like all that extra shit you get, all them 100 motherfuckers you just laid off, they can still have a job if you stop taking all that extra shit.
If you stop taking 100 million motherfucking incentive.
I know it's hard, man. Motherfuckers want to be like, I went to school, I worked for this, I did that, and I did this, and blah blah blah. But dog, like right now, we in a pandemic. Motherfuckers is losing their lives, and losing their homes, their cars, their families and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck your little bonus, motherfucker.
Right,
shit.
for real. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of these corporations and CEOs and shit like that are making enough money that they not gonna miss that incentive. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you had let's say you got a $10 million bonus if your company do such and such, you can forego that bonus to pay your fucking employees. Like you really could. Like you not gonna really miss You know what I'm saying? That incentive and shit. Most places. Now, a smaller company, and this is the crazy shit about it. There are some smaller companies who got those small business loans and shit, who used that money to actually pay their employees and didn't make a dime in the pandemic. They just made sure that their employees was good. And that's fucked up that you got a small business doing that, but won't have a big corporation doing that. It's fucked up. Like at the end of the day, nigga, the big corporations is like big machines. You like a cog in the wheel. And I hate saying that shit because I know niggas who work in corporate America and shit. And I obviously did that shit for years. And it's just like, I understand it, but like it's fucking sickening. Like at what point?
Dog,
at what point?
It's all about greed, right? So
it is.
Yeah, I got my undergrad in business. I got a motherfucking MBA too, right? So the fundamental thing they teach you in both of those programs is that business, like public businesses, public corporations are in business to increase shareholder wealth. That is your number one priority.
Right.
Increase shareholder wealth, right? So if you're this corporation, and, you get these bailouts and all this other shit or whatever, you got to go back and when you have your quarterly meetings or your annual meeting and whatnot, and you got to answer to your shareholders, they're like, hey, why did we lose $100 million? Or why did we do this? Oh, because we're trying to get everybody in and keep everybody in the job.
Right.
Fuck the motherfucker. They don't care about
shit. They don't give a shit.
No. I need my dividends. Come on.
Facts.
I need my dividends. They don't care about people, man.
They don't. So let me ask y'all this though, and this is like and we probably talking from a different perspective, but like, is it possible to run a successful business and actually care about people?
Yes.
Absolutely.
What is your definition of success, right? You want to make some fucking profit.
Yeah.
How much profit? I mean, how much profit is too much, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's the question you got to answer, right?
Fair.
And I don't have an answer to say like, okay, you got to make this much. You got to make. I don't have that answer, right? But what I do know at the same time is, okay, I can make this much money and I can be cool and go do the things I want to do, and I can take this much money right here and make sure these folks are cool too, right? Yeah. Like you can't do that if you care about people.
If you care about people and shit.
And if you care about people, they'll work harder for you.
Goddamn right they will.
But if you just sitting there screwing them over,
Facts. Right. Like they don't understand that.
They're gonna bail out on you in a heartbeat.
I don't give a shit about my company, like for real. Like seriously, I'm there because I do on camera. I do this work. You give me the money. All right. That's the only agreement we have. Outside of that, fuck y'all. You know what I mean?
But if they showed you just a little bit of concern about what you're going through,
then my attitude might change a little bit. It might.
It would.
You know what? But right now, I know they don't care.
Yeah.
And they come to you with all that fake shit. Hey, this is this team builder, and we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do that, and blah blah blah.
But say, be real about that shit though.
Come on, for real.
Right, be real about that shit.
Come on, man.
And that's the real thing. Like I said, I spent many years in corporate America and shit, and one that I never have a problem talking about was my time at AT&T and shit, man. So fuck AT&T. I will say that publicly and shit. And only because, and maybe not AT&T as a company and shit. Let's just talk about my management at the time and shit. So at the time, I had developed a leg ulcer and shit. If anybody know what that is and shit, then you know that.
Thought you was about to die, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought I was about to die. Like
we
in
all
real
thought
life.
you was about to die.
Yeah, everybody thought I was gonna die. And if you don't know what a leg ulcer is and shit, Google it on your own time. But anyway, so I had this leg ulcer and shit that I had to have wound treatment for every fucking 3 days and shit. And then I had I had an IV and shit. I had an IV because they were scared that I was gonna get some kind of infection. You got it? My fault. And they thought I was gonna get some kind of infection.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an IV like hanging out my arm. And I went to work every day with my IV and shit because it was implanted. So like it was implanted and shit. So I shot an IV like 3 times a day and shit. I'm going to work every day. Nobody in my management team had the motherfucking had the decency to just be like, dog, you can get some FMLA, dog. Take some time off.
Short-term disability,
short-term
something.
anything.
They
allow me to come to work every fucking day. You know what I'm saying? Like with that shit hanging out my arm, and that's when I realized
because we gotta get these units out the door, bro.
Yeah. Shit. Right, gotta get these shields up, dog. Like that shit happened in real life, and then like after that, I ended up getting better and shit, and then fucked around and got fired because my sales wasn't high enough and shit. Right, for 2 months in a row, my sales weren't high enough, so they fired me and shit. So disregard the fact that I came to this bitch on my deathbed. Like I'm dying in this bitch, coming to work. Damn. They don't give a fuck about people. And it was at that point that I realized, like, dog, corporate don't give a fuck about me. So that's what I tell niggas, dog. When you got motherfucking vacation time, you got time off, use that shit fuck them niggas, dog. For real. Like,
I'm glad you said that. I'm about to put some time.
no, put some time in it. Because at the end of the day, they'll put that time in on your ass. They'll put that time in on your ass for sure.
Use it or lose it.
Hell yeah, you definitely want to lose it. I ain't trying to. Dog, I'm trying to use my shit to the point where if I got sick for real, I ain't got no time left. That's fucked up. I'm just gonna have to quit. I'm taking my time off, nigga. I don't give a fuck. Like, nigga, I will randomly just take motherfucking days off. Like, you know what? I ain't going on Tuesday. Like, fuck it. I'm just like, cause then my days, though, and you seriously need that time and shit. And shout out to Tiana, man. She the host, coach for the culture. Podcast, man. Shout out to I call her Doc. She not a doctor yet, but I'm gonna keep talking it into fruition and shit. But shout out to Doc. She had her first episode for season 3. I think this is her season 3. Her first episode was about work-life balance, dog. The crazy shit about work-life balance.
I got a whole story about it.
I know you do, and that's why I brought that shit up. Dog, the whole thing about work-life balance though is that like it is truly a thing, nigga. Like, work-life balance is truly a thing. But what's crazy about it is that you never heard of that shit until, like, the last few years. What about the again, we talked about when we was talking about therapy and shit, we was talking about the generations before us. None of this shit was even considered. None of that shit was even considered, like, a work-life balance. Like, dog, that shit is so important, dog. Like, I don't think you understand, because even when you don't need it, just having the idea that the corporation that you work for considers your life at some point will make you work harder. I don't know why companies don't fucking realize that. Yeah. If you felt for a second that your employer gave a fuck about you, you would put that much more effort into it, though.
I'm not going to say they don't realize it. I think they do realize it, right? I think that it only applies to... I don't think it only applies at a certain level, right? Yeah. And what I mean by that is... So I'll look at my previous employer. I used to work in HR for Amazon, right? And worked for them for 4 years. And we were talking to like when I was doing recruiting things like that, talking to new candidates about work-life balance and stuff like that, because Amazon, I mean, quite frankly, the people that work in the fulfillment centers, they work them to death. Really, right, they really do.
This is why high turnover.
Yeah, that's why that turnover is so high, right? But when I look at like the professional positions and the executive positions and whatnot, they work, Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, 9 to 6, something like that. Your typical schedules and all that type of stuff, right? And they make so much more money, and they get these stock options and all that good stuff. If they call them RSUs, restricted stock units, right? Yeah. And Amazon's trading at about $3,200 a share right now. You know what I mean? So, and some of these people they've got in their bank like 400, 500, 600 shares and whatnot. You know what I mean? So, at any point, they just go ahead and cash that out. And they're good, right? They're
good. They're straight. Yeah.
But the folks that work on and I get it, they're hourly employees. You may not be able to. Well, let me take that back. Amazon is worth $1 trillion. They can give hourly employees that too if they wanted to. Right?
Hell yeah,
if they really wanted to.
Hell yeah.
But the thing is, man, like paying $15 an hour.
Yeah. Untaxed $1 trillion. Just saying, untaxed.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the thing is, a lot of these cats, man, like, again, they work all these hours and whatnot, especially during the pandemic. And I was in one of the fulfillment centers during the pandemic and whatnot. And, bruh, like, I'm for real. Like, they treated these motherfuckers like shit. They might have, like, fixed the shit right now because they received so much heat. But initially, no. Anyway, my whole point about all this shit is, bruh, is, like, they kind of qualified, like, your worth. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what position are you at? Like, yeah, we need to hold on to these people. These people, he has this degree or she has this degree or this certification or whatever.
Right.
And then, like, the people that work in the hourly roles, they call it high volume roles, right? So this is like, we'll just bring in another class of people. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay, so what about the other people we just brought in or whatnot? They just done. They just asked out or whatever. Just,
right? Exactly.
I mean, what's going on? So it's a reason why this dude is the richest man in the world. Sure. And like, yeah, I get it. He came up with something that literally changed the world. I get that, right? You should be compensated for that.
I ordered shit from Amazon the other day. They did.
But not at the expense of everyday people, which is what it is. It's at the expense of everyday people, man.
Yeah. Like I say, it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just bad.
One more thing, and I'm done. So work-life balance, right?
Right.
So my situation when I was with Amazon, right before I left, actually, I was gonna take some time and do this and do that, blah blah blah, whatever. And you know, my time had to get approved, and my boss was like, well, blah 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 blah, and like I straight up told her, like, whether you approve it or not, this is my time. I'm taking this shit. I don't care if you approve it or not. Like I'm letting you know I'm not gonna be here on these dates, right? I'm letting you know that.
It's up to you whether you approve that shit. Like, I'm out.
And then we got into the talk about work-life balance. So what Amazon started to do is their leaders start talking about work-life harmony. So not so much that it needs to balance, but it needs to be in harmony.
Right.
So if that causes you to work 60 hours 1 week and not go out or do whatever you want to do, fine.
Create
the next
harmony.
week is like that. That's harmony, right?
Shit.
So now they're giving themselves an out to have your ass work a little bit more, right? And then they give you all these other resources to work from home and to work and to pull shit up on your phone. So when you're really not working, you are working.
You working.
Like motherfucker, when I leave, I'm not accessible to you when I leave. I'm done.
Right. Hell
You know what I mean? I'm done. For real.
For sure. And that's the thing, though. That's why, and shout out to Comcast, man. Shout out to my old supervisors. Both of them and shit. I ain't gonna put their names out because I don't know if they want to be associated with the company and shit. But I remember I had a dude supervisor at first. And, like, I would never do OT. Like, Comcast would sometimes have mandatory OT. So, like, you know, I got to keep my job. So I'm going to do these little weak-ass 2 hours. But when involuntary OT came around, Q ain't doing it. I don't fuck around, bruh. If it ain't mandatory, dog, to keep my job, I'm not doing it. I'm not giving this company any extra time because I've always had whatever my dream was on the side doing that shit anyway. So like, I always need time for that. So I remember one time I was in my one-on-one with my new supervisor, and she happened to be homies with, you know, my old supervisors. So they both in there. So we going over my one-on-one and shit. I was doing like hella decent at Comcast. Comcast.
What up,
It's cuz and shit. What up, cuz? So I'm like, I was decent at that job and shit, but I just hated being on the phone. That's how I ended up going out to Colorado doing the social media. But anyway, we in that bitch doing my one-on-one and shit. That shit over, and it's about talking about OT and shit. So she like, yeah, so you know it's overtime available and shit. My old supervisor was sitting there, niggas just started laughing, dog. So she was like, what are you laughing at? So I just started laughing. Shit. Dog was like, man, you know Q don't do no OT, bro. Like, they knew it. Everybody in that bitch knew. I ain't doing it. Bro, I'm not doing shit extra because I understand that because of that situation at AT&T, I understand when you go above and beyond and do extra, they still, at the end of the day, don't give a fuck about you, dog.
One more story, cuz. Now I'm done with the whole shit, right? So,
I know, right? Then we go move on.
move on. You know, I work in talent acquisition, so there's a lot of how can I say?
Need that.
I know, right?
Hell yeah.
I started feeling it, so I started.
Yeah, need that.
I said earlier.
Hell yeah.
Yes. So I
Man, TK just checked in. What up, though?
TK, I just talked to TK earlier today. What up, though,
Yeah.
bro? Yeah. So anyway, I almost forgot what I was about to say. So one more time, like I said, you know, I'm done with it. Anyway, so I work in talent acquisition, and when I'm talking to potential employees or team members, as we call them, team members, right?
Right.
You know, a lot of times they ask me, you know, about culture and stuff like, and I'm always honest with these folks. Like, this is really how I feel about whatever, you know. But I understand at the same time, folks are looking for jobs and shit like that. You know what I mean? So, like, I get that, right? Anyway, this got into a larger conversation with me and some folks I work with and whatever, and it kind of, you know, bubbled up. And you know, we do an intake with the hiring managers before we post the job. Like, what exactly are you looking for in a perfect candidate? And they'll say all this stuff. They're resilient. They can overcome adversity. They can do this. They can do that.
Right,
and so my question was like, why don't we just remove the adversity and let these motherfuckers just work? You know, why people got to be resilient to go to work? You know, why people got to overcome adversity to go to work?
To go to work.
You know what I mean? Like, why people got to deal with all this bad shit at work? You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? You know,
that's the difference between what we do here in the States, as where other countries, they see work as a means to get you to your vacation.
Yeah, exactly.
We see work as you got to work in order to earn your vacation.
Yep.
And it's totally different in other places.
That is the terminology on your check. Earned vacation, nigga. That actually says earned vacation, nigga. You gotta work
all
to
this shit y'all
earn.
done put me through. Y'all better give me like 8 weeks of shit. What? All this bullshit? Come on, man.
Bruh, if y'all think
Fuck
I'm
outta
bullshitting,
here.
when you go to a job and shit, when you do an interview, like those are new questions that need to be involved. Those questions should be how much vacation time is available up front, and literally what is the work life balance?
Not a lot, bro.
Not a lot.
So if you ever take the time to travel, go to other islands, or go to the Caribbean, meet some people from Europe. They're not down there for a week. You're there for a week. Because that's where
they down there.
They down there for 2.
They
down there
3
for a
weeks.
month.
They in
down there, and they're still getting paid from their company.
Yeah.
We have to get our one little week, our 7 days, and that's why they package that stuff just for 7 days.
Damn.
Because they know that most Americans are only going to be there for a week, and that's it. They got to go back to work.
Damn.
Other countries, 2-3 weeks. So I'll give you an example. I'm leaving. My wife and I, we go down to St. Lucia. We enjoying ourselves. We got our week down there. We enjoying. We loving life. These dudes we met from Europe. I guess the guy was from London. We packing our stuff to go to get on the shuttle to get to the airport. He putting his second weekend at this resort. Like, nice to meet you. I'm like, dang.
Like y'all here. Yeah. I ain't gonna lie, that's how when we went to I mean they was retired and shit though, so I guess that's different. But I remember we went to Miami and shit, man. Shout out to Miami. Had a great time in Miami. Anyway, we was leaving and like our Airbnb and shit was up like the day before, so I had to spend one night at the hotel. So me and 2Gs, shout out to 2Gs, we stayed at this little I can't remember the hotel, but we ran into this white couple, right? Retired white couple. They was retired, but I feel like it's a lot of people in this position. Like, so we in there, we drinking some tequila. The shit was fire. I ain't gonna lie. The tequila was good. We was talking so much shit about it. Like, the old white dude next to us, and shit, like, he heard us talk about it. Like, dude just pulled up on us like, hey, I hear y'all talking about the tequila. I want parts.
Was that the Aragante?
Yeah, the Aragante. He pulled up on us like, look, hey. I was like, shit, pour up. So we poured him a shot. We got to drinking and shit. So he got hyped with his shit. He brought his little drink over there. We all drinking and shit. Me, 2Gs. I think it was Cuz and shit. And dude wife or whatever. So we just rapping, we drinking and shit. And he was just talking about how, they had been there for about 3 weeks already. They just been in Miami. Like, so that was the one stop that they had. Then they had another place, like I want to say, like in Fort Lauderdale or something they was going to. But like they had just spent the last couple weeks at this motherfucker. They're like, damn, I want that. But I want that while I'm working though.
Right. Well, think about
and corporations just don't allow for that.
Think about the people we met in Vegas at Lake Mead. That older couple, they had. He had that brand new F-150.
Yes.
And he had just been. You know what? We just decided to take a month off and traveling around the country.
Bro.
They were traveling from casino to casino.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Because they had all those comp points. They were getting free rooms, and they were going all the way up to San Francisco.
They some gamblers for real.
They gamblers for real. Yeah.
And they were from Florida. So I mean, that's some serious stuff. When you have that kind of time, or whatever he was doing that gave him the time to do that, that's what you want to be able to do out of work.
That's it.
In America, unfortunately, you get your 1 week. And get your butt back to work.
Yeah.
See,
that's that quality of life.
And that's why I fight that shit, right? So, one more story about Amazon. When I went to Egypt.
He said, well, dog, first of all, this nigga went to Egypt.
When I went to Egypt.
First of all, this nigga went to Egypt. I just wanted to say that again.
I was gone for 14 days, right? I took 16 days off that motherfucker because I wanted the day before and the day after, obviously.
Yeah.
And
probably needed a few days after. Honestly, that's a long ass flight. Yeah.
I get back to work and shit, and on the first day back, and, I'm working on whatever it is, and trying to catch up on some shit, and the boss comes by, it's like, well, these people cover for you, and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, just like the same way I would cover for them when they take vacation? Like, didn't I earn this shit, right?
Why is that even said?
Don't be coming to me with that shit, right? You know what I mean? And she was just like, oh my God, you're so aggressive. Like, don't bring that shit to me. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's not necessary.
Don't come at me with the weak shit.
I earned this shit, so don't ask questions when I take my shit.
But she came to you aggressively by questioning what you
But I'm the aggressive one. Exactly.
The aggressive one.
And that's how I was labeled, man. It got to a point where I was literally the angry black guy. I mean, I did Hulk smash a table.
Angry black guy.
I did Hulk smash a table, but it was after all that bullshit I had to deal with.
That was after the
I just
fact.
internalized, you know. And eventually, like we talked about earlier, eventually that shit is gonna blow up, and that shit blew up.
Hey, well,
And
look,
all the motherfuckers was like, "Oh my god, he's angry. Let me get the fuck out of here."
so
and shit, you know?
organically, we just got to this subject. So let's talk about that.
Let's
shit,
talk
dog.
about it.
Black people in corporate America, dog. Like, is it a real thing? Like, for real? Because I know we talk about it, and a lot of people, you know, frown upon that shit, especially other races, think that we overdoing it. But is it really true? Like, you can't really speak your mind in the corporate setting without being labeled like the angry black person.
It depends, right? Mm-hmm. It depends on what your value is, right? If you're not valuable, no.
My dog Chris. Man, Chris has just checked it. He said 94 is aggressive.
94 is damn aggressive.
Hey, look, hold on. Which 94? Because I was 94 first.
You know which one you're talking about.
Hell yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Motherfucker, talking about your ass.
Shit, you made me forget what I was saying and shit. Oh, goddamn.
Black people in corporate America.
Oh, black people in corporate America, man. Anyway, like, yeah, all that shit happened and whatnot. And like I said, she came to me with the shit. You know what I mean? I went to my co-workers beforehand. Like, I took care of my business. Like, went to all of them. Like, hey, I'm going to Egypt this many days. Blah blah blah. I know it's gonna suck to cover down on me for that long, but
it is what it is.
I'm going, right?
Right, I'm going.
You know, when I come back, you know, obviously I get to catch up, and when y'all go, you know, obviously I'll cover down for y'all, and it was cool with me.
Yeah.
So and then she comes in because no one else does that.
Well,
like,
somebody said something though.
I'm sure, whatever.
Yeah,
but,
somebody said something.
But she came in too because because the other ones like they take shit, and I'm the one I voice my opinions, right? Like we said, and I voiced my opinion to her, and that shit was like she ain't take it well, you know? And basically I told her I don't give a fuck, you know. I don't give a fuck, right? You know.
And what you talking about?
Yeah, you know. And I told her to do whatever the hell you need to do, you think you need to do, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I'm done with this conversation. I went back to work.
Yeah.
You know, so then the next day, oh, you can't talk to me, blah, 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 like this and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, look, you came to me with that shit. So I ain't going to beat that shit to death. But anyway, it's like, yes, black people in corporate America, if there are some black people that are very successful in corporate America. Mm-hmm. And that may be because of, like, their skills or their education or their personality or whatever. So I don't want to take that away from them. But I also have come across black people that are successful in corporate America because basically they sold out shit.
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like the motherfuckers is like,
I was gonna ask about that shit.
Yeah.
Like, my only concern right now is getting to this position. I don't care who I got to step on, who I got to do whatever.
What I got to do to get it. Yeah, for sure.
And like, to a point, I understand that, you know, to a point, because you know, black folks, we've been marginalized and taken advantage of so much. Like, when you have a goal, you just want to reach that. Like, I get it. But at the same time, I'm not willing. You know, somebody else might feel different, but I'm not willing to, like, look at my brothers and sisters and shit. You know, and when I say that, I'm talking about my black, you know, co-workers,
not people of color,
not people called black, right? Black, because that's who I identify with.
Facts.
Right. I want them to take advantage of the system, like, literally. Because if they don't, the system is gonna take advantage of them.
Facts.
You know? But I'm seeing always
So
as the argumentative
twice.
one and the one that's causing the troublemaker and the angry one and this and that. But you know, whatever.
But see, people confuse volume with anger.
Yeah, facts.
We are loud as a people in general, and I'm broad stroke with black people right now. We are in general loud.
Yeah, we are.
One, because we just talk loud. But that's not disrespect. That's not anger. That's nothing but we just happen to have a higher volume than you do. And
So,
that's all
nigga,
that's
I see the
up.
wheels turning over
So,
here.
nigga,
What you got?
something to say,
What
dog.
you got? I see the wheels turning.
What you got, dog?
My issue with that, I've been in rooms where white people have expressed their opinions very loudly. And because they're white, it is accepted.
It's accepted.
It is when black people decide that we have a strong opinion and we express ourselves that we get that label. That's a sign of racism.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
expect us to be meek.
Yeah.
And to be quiet and to be
For sure.
serving and all of that stuff. So when you express anything other than that,
Yeah.
you're combative.
Exactly. So we
That's
try
racism.
to learn their language though, and when I say their language, I mean the corporate. Hold on, let me put it in even better terms and shit. We learn how to.
I let my cigar go out over here.
I know, right? we learn email etiquette, so y'all know what I'm saying when I say that. You learn how to cuss a motherfucker out
without really cussing them out.
Yes,
yeah.
I did learn from them. I did learn from corporate America. I did learn from my white counterparts with that and shit. But at the end of the day, being black, that's weird. Like me having to conform to a different identity to get my point across, that's a lot.
And I'm not talking about code switching, right? You know, we got to code switch from time to time, right?
I mean that's essentially code switching. Though.
Yeah.
When you have to get your point across aggressively without being aggressive, that's essentially
no.
code shit.
I'm not going against you.
That's essentially code shit.
What I'm saying is this is like white folks don't have to worry about that going to work. You know what I mean? We don't. I got to worry about. Hey, I can't be myself today. You know, like I can't. We've got this. I got that. I've got to act this way. You know, I can't be myself. And that's the shit they be talking about with this diversity and inclusion shit. Mm-hmm. We want everybody to be themselves. We want you to feel comfortable being yourself at work. We want this. We want the inclusion of all these decisions and this and that.
We can be comfortable being ourselves, but can they be comfortable with us being ourselves?
No, I'll give you an example.
That's the question.
I have a person walk into my office. Now, for me, I do not yell at adults. It's not necessary. You're a professional. Do your job. Yeah. That's all there is to it.
Plus, nigga, when you start yelling, you definitely loud.
It's
accountability.
You definitely loud.
So I know my voice is booming. I can control my environment. I can control with my voice by itself. I don't need a microphone. I don't need a megaphone.
Right.
I can control what I need to control. Hundreds of people at the same time with my voice, just by my voice alone. So I know this. So when it comes to adults that
y'all
are
hearing in the microphone right now.
When you're a professional, I'm gonna treat you like a professional. So this one particular person comes in my office and decides to tell me what she is or is not going to do. Okay, that's fine. I said, well, first of all, good morning. How you doing? It's good to see you. Blah blah blah. We started talking. And then she got hysterical because she was losing the argument. And you're sitting here and you're yelling at me and blah, blah, blah. I said, one, you haven't heard me yell at an adult.
Because if you had, you'd have read about this motherfucker.
If you heard me yell at an adult, then you know how upset I am. Now, I'll give you an example. When I am upset and my staff sees that I'm upset, they leave me alone. They don't even come in my office to talk to me anymore. They just stay away. And that was the pattern. So if I'm yelling at you, you would be running out of my office because I'm yelling at you so loud that people down the hallway gonna hear it because I'm that loud. Yeah. But unfortunately, when they're told no, people of a different color, when they're told no, or told that they are wrong and I'm not going to listen to their
mass shit,
and I'm just going to deal with what I got to deal with, then they all of a sudden take you as the angry black guy. No, I'm not the angry black guy because if I was angry, you'd see it. You'd see a whole different person.
Right?
You would know. There would be no question how angry I am. Because one, I'd be cursing. Instead of talking like this, nice and calm, I'd be cursing, I'd be yelling, I'd be screaming, and you would definitely see a different side of me. But unfortunately, when people of a different color are told no, and they don't have control that they think they have, they all of a sudden try to label you instead of just dealing with the fact that my supervisor said no. Yeah. That's all it was.
That's it.
My supervisor said
that's
no.
it.
You know, and we see this shit with the police right now, right? I watched a little clip earlier today. Like, homeboy was chilling
this about to be a whole other conversation.
So homeboy was just chilling with his family at a mall or whatever the fuck it was, eating and whatever. Police come up to him. Hey, you fit the description, blah, blah, blah. You know, the usual shit. And he's like, what? What the fuck y'all talking about, bro? Like, dude ain't do nothing. He has no clue what these people talking about.
Right.
Police, hey, we gotta bring you up out of here. Put him in handcuffs and everything and shit, right? And then when they find out they done fucked up, like, obviously homeboy is angry. Yeah. And they tell him to calm down. What? You just dragged me out in front of all these people in handcuffs like I'm a fucking criminal. Yes. And now you're gonna tell me to fucking calm down? Fuck you.
No, that's just like
calm down.
Just like how we was talking about.
Do your fucking job correctly, goddammit.
Just like how we was talking about on the Wake and Bake show the other day about Chicago PD and shit. And fuck, I'm having a brain fart because we've been drinking and shit. But
girl, that when they raided her house,
yes, no, they raided her house like the wrong crib. And like she butt ass naked though, right?
This shit happened 2 years ago, by the way.
This shit happened 2 years ago. All right, so fucking let's talk about this shit. Since we brought this shit up, let's talk about this whole shit. So that shit happened 2 years ago. The body cam footage just came out, but not because they released it, because like nigga they fought to have it released. Like Mayor Lightfoot, I have to say that Mayor Lightfoot and the city's administration was fighting to not have the motherfucking body cam footage released. First of all, Mayor Lightfoot, I had a different perception of her because I really felt like she was for the people. I thought she fucked with us. But then with her leading the charge to not have this shit released and shit, and first let me be fair and saying that all this shit happened before she got in office. Like the shit happened before
This
her.
is Rahm Emanuel, not her.
Right, but
Rahm Emanuel. Okay.
but she.
But now you got to make the shit right, though.
Now you gotta make it right.
You got to make the shit right.
So and she didn't do that, and I'm mad about the response more than I am the police.
Don't be.
The police. Wait, angry man. Angry man. Angry principal. I gotta say this
you
though.
Angry man arguing with you and shit.
Yes, and I'm used to angry man sitting on that side. But I'm just saying, when the response though, at some point she is supposed to allow that footage to be released. Like what is? How do you make that legitimate though? Because it sounds like you about to make it legitimate.
So
How do you
I'm not
make
gonna
that
make
legitimate?
it legitimate. I'm gonna say this. Remember,
Okay.
her job is to protect the city, not just every individual. Her job is to look not just at the room that you're in, but the entire city, all the freaking blocks and all the miles of
The
cities that are in
integrity of the
Chicago.
city.
Her job, first and foremost, is to protect the city.
The integrity
Now,
of the city is at stake at that point.
I don't disagree with you. What I'm saying is I understand where she's coming from because she's thinking globally or citywide, and those people are thinking just about that one little case.
Bro.
So when you got a
killing
job
me.
like that, when you got a job like that, understand my first job is to protect the city of Chicago, not necessarily protect that one little person, that one little case about one little thing. Now it caught national attention. Now that's different. Once it catches national attention, I got to deal with stuff a different way. But as the politician, the Republican, the Democrat in me, the person that's dealing with the politics that goes on in these offices every day, I am first and foremost obligated to protect the city of Chicago, not necessarily just the person. Now, if it comes out and I gotta fess to it, oh well,
But
I gotta fess
y'all
to
niggas
it.
keep voting.
But initially, I gotta deal with the city.
Shut your ass up.
Different perspective.
I understand that perspective. All right, so where I'm saying is that in that same perspective, if she's protecting the city means that there is some transparency between the city, the police, and the actual people. That transparency was killed in her trying to motherfucking block this footage from being let out.
No,
so how is that protecting the city?
The transparency is there because the stuff got let out. I don't have to help you. I don't have to help you.
She in a tight position because I was pissed off. I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed off.
I get that. I totally understand that. But my job is to protect the city, and if I can protect a $30 million, $40 million lawsuit coming against the city because you all went into the wrong house, then I got to do what I got to do for my police officers because those are the people that are going to be backing me up later on. But at the same time, once everything comes out, it comes out. Sometimes you got to let the political process actually play out. Once it plays out, hey. This is what the body cam showed.
That's why I have a problem with it, though. Because I don't trust the political process in the first place.
Right, but now you're playing.
Hey, he looking like nigga. That's what I'm saying.
I'm giving the side
I feel you.
The administrator that's in charge has got to do stuff.
Yeah.
This is if I'm Lightfoot. This is the way I'm thinking. Damn, another $30 million lawsuit. Shit.
Yeah.
But see,
Gotta deal with this again.
and that's my issue, right? So like, you done went on all these shits, then went out all in the community, trying to get all kinds of motherfuckers to vote. Motherfuckers that don't even know how to spell vote, trying to get them in the voting booth and shit like that, right? And then you're not going to protect
niggas that
them.
don't know how to spell vote.
And then you're not going to protect them. For real. No, I'm serious though.
I feel what you're saying.
Then you're not going to protect these people. You're more worried about the city's image. No, like, man, maybe I see this differently. I don't know. But like as the mayor, you are supposed to protect the people in your city. Not necessarily like you have to protect the city's image too. I get that. But in the current climate we're in, and with police out here just murking niggas for no reason at all, while giving the white folks like all kinds of chances to put their weapons down and to do this, and taking niggas to Burger King after they killed a whole church full of people and shit that, right?
You want to bring that up, right?
Yeah. So,
thank you. Struggling.
My whole thing is, fuck the political process.
Yeah.
You have a citizen of your city that was just assaulted and had his rights violated by employees of the city. You gotta hold those motherfuckers accountable. Fuck the city's image. And maybe I'm thinking about it too simplistically. Maybe that could be I don't know.
You're not. But do I have to do this publicly or can I do this behind closed doors?
You got to do it publicly right now. You have to.
Well, that's
you have to.
In this climate.
But what if the case never gained national attention? Do I have to do this publicly?
Niggas in the city of Chicago knew.
It may not have been like
niggas in the city of Chicago knew.
Locally,
Hell
like
they knew.
Well,
so because I work for the police department here in Detroit, anytime that the police show up on a scene, they got those cameras. So when a situation that happened like that, once you see the report, you know that this is going to be something that's going to blow up. You
gotta have that in the back of your mind.
You know. The thing that I want to address about that whole situation, her being an African American in that position, you can see that the pressure for her to respond a certain way.
Oh, I know.
In front of people.
Oh, I know. But
so she took that route.
But when you get into that situation, you gotta understand the pressure that come with that shit.
And you know what? And it's the reason people vote on like who's gonna be mayor and governor. Mm-hmm. Like the job ain't easy. The job is hard. Yeah. You're going to make some tough motherfucking decisions. Like that's just not easy. Like
you damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
Sure. Yeah,
you gonna have to pick your 10% and roll pretty much. You know what I mean?
Say that shit.
Shit, pretty much.
Always say that shit.
But for real, you gonna have to deal with this shit.
Right.
W.E.B. Du Bois, he on that one.
The talented 10th, baby.
I'm a Booker T's.
The talented 10th. Oh man, yeah, I'm definitely on the W.E.B. Du Bois side of it.
You got to read his papers.
Du Bois.
You on Du Bois? I'm on Booker T.
Well, you know, I think there's a reason that Du Bois eventually said, "Fuck y'all, I'm moving to Ghana." You know, he was out. It was like, "Fuck y'all."
Yeah.
Now, the reality about even like politicians and people who freedom fighters and even writers back in the day from the Harlem Renaissance, dog. Like if you read up on any of their history, like all of them at some point had to get the fuck out of here because it's just like you realize like dog it just ain't for you, so you had to go.
Your favorite author? What did he say?
Which one we talking
Baldwin?
about? James Baldwin and shit.
Paris.
Yeah.
To be a black man in America.
Yeah, right. Shit. Once you. Basically, like, I always paraphrase this shit. I have to say it in nigga terms. But once you realize what's going on, like, you can't help but being angry and shit.
Yeah, look, even
you know what I'm saying?
Went down
that's a paraphrase and shit.
And created his own universe in Tuskegee. So, he just said, screw all y'all. We're going to control what we control down here in Alabama. And we're not going to worry about anybody else.
And so looking at that, though, just going back to James Baldwin's quote and shit, like, basically to be woke in America, niggas go automatically equal you being angry and shit, right? So that's the whole concept behind this quote. And just looking at it like that, how do you internalize that, like knowing that that's the case, and still be a part of corporate America? So like all of us have been in corporate America at one point or another and shit. Some of us are still there, and how do we take that with us and still maintain in a corporate setting? Because like that's where I had a problem. Because like
I feel you.
I know I'm mad about some shit. But then I know that I'm in a situation where I really can't say nothing.
So
how hard is that?
You got to pick and choose your battles.
Yep, that's exactly it. Yeah.
If you have not figured out how to pick and choose your battles, then you screwing yourself over.
Facts.
You're making stuff hard for yourself. I have to know that this one person doing something wrong is not worth me yelling and screaming about. But when they screw up the second time, okay, now it's time for me to go off. Now it's all to pop it. I got to pick and choose my battle when it's necessary for me to go off and when it's necessary for me to, all right. Learn from your mistake. Let's move on.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's certain shit like I want to go off on it like right away, and I'm like,
tough.
Nah,
that shit tough.
Wait for the next time. Yeah, I feel you.
Stress that's on you as an African American to hold a position, to know that you got to bite your tongue when you feel like you need to speak your mind, but because you have a hue, because you are the color that you are, the ethnicity that you are, that you can't respond like you feel like you should, just because you're black.
Dog. Which is probably the same situation that Mayor Lightfoot was in, obviously.
Yeah.
Because I know at the end of the day she want to be like, man, hell no, we gotta.
Then you gotta do that shit, right? Like, because being in a position of leadership, the number one requirement is you gotta show fucking courage. You know what I mean? Like that's all. Believe me, I've been in the military. I've led troops, shit like that. Like you gotta show that people look to that shit, right? Yeah. Even if I wasn't fucking sure about the decision I want to make, I'm gonna act like, hey man, God Himself came down from what fucking Mount Sinai and told me this is what we need to fucking do. And them troops is like, all right, sir, let's go do that shit, bro. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But think about it. They're quick to say, okay, well, so Mr. Angry militant black man, we'll replace you with someone who's meek that has those same
and you're right.
qualifications.
You're 100% right.
So then when you got a family and you got responsibilities, can you really afford to do that?
And see, and that's what I always tell this nigga.
That's where they got
I always tell him, right?
That's where they got you.
I'm not married. I don't have no kids. It's me and my dog. You know what I mean? So I say whatever that's on my mind, whatever the fuck I want to. Right? If I had a family and kids and shit like that, I might have to qualify some of my shit. I might have to be a little more strategic about how I go about things, right?
You do.
But I don't. So I don't do that.
But that's why I said earlier, we all, the deeper part of it, we all are suffering from some kind of trauma because of that.
Yeah.
You can't come in a room as a masculine black man and express yourself just normally without being seen as a threat.
You're damn right.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's beyond crazy. But it's our normal. And that's fucked up. It's our normal, and that's fucked up.
Me, man.
No, I mean it's just real life, and then you look at it, you overthink it a little bit because you figure out like, well, that's what it is. What can I do to change it? Mm-hmm. But what can I do to change it? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like absolutely. you really want to change that shit. Like you want to do something different, but like the system is what it is, and just like when we talk about institutional racism and shit, and how that shit works. And classism at this point. We talk about that shit and how the system need to be fixed and everything. And I know how we talk in this circle. The reality of it is that it's working exactly the way they want it to work. Like it's not broke to them. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. So like I think we can't even call it fixing. We got to call it like making it work for us.
Hey,
like
I'm gonna take a little cue from a reality show, right?
Don't you think watch reality TV?
I do. I do watch one.
What?
Usually I'm like, fuck reality TV.
Right. What show is this?
60 Days In, nigga.
I watched.
First of all, I have not watched this shit.
60 Days In.
Yo,
bro.
First of all, I'm never doing that shit.
So hold up. Yeah, right.
Niggas making like $2.
If I don't have to go to jail, I'm not going exactly, right?
No.
But here's the thing that really stood out to me from that show, right? And this may be, TV, it may be Hollywood, whatever, right? Sure. But I want to point this out because it was kind of polarizing to me, right? Some of the folks that volunteered to go on this show and then go into prison for 60 days, right? White folks who are like, I'm totally against prisoners getting this and that and blah, blah, blah and doing this. They get so many, it's like a vacation in there. And then they go in there themselves and they realize like, oh shit, I was wrong. This shit is not like that at all. Right. Like this shit is fucked up, right? So my whole point is, you can't really judge someone until you at least attempt or try to look at it from a situation of empathy. You know what I mean, right? Like you have no clue at all what these motherfuckers are going through, what's happening in their lives, and the shit they had to deal with. And whether you like it or not, it's just not that easy just to pull yourself up by your bootstraps like motherfuckers like to say and shit. You know what I mean?
Right, facts.
Especially when y'all motherfuckers hold all the goddamn leather and shit. You know what I mean?
We got spaghetti string motherfucking bootstraps. Nigga,
shit, I'm over here trying to motherfucking rig shit up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hey, blow in the cartridge, nigga. Put the shit in the freezer for 10 seconds. Take it out. Like the old Nintendo and shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah.
And the batteries, put them in the freezer.
Fuck yeah. It's the same shit, cuz.
We've been liquor rigging our whole life,
man.
Bro. That's the crazy shit, though. It's just like with corporate America, though. Like I said, corporate America is basically how America operates. So when you look at the schematics behind big corporations, that's exactly how America works. And when you look at that, how can you deny that we had a deficit? That's why when we say shit about being like the have-nots in the whole group and shit, I hate when people like downplay that shit like we fucking whining. It's not whining, it's saying the truth. You're stating the facts.
Saying the truth.
You're just pointing out what's happening, nigga. Like,
hey, one more story. I'm gonna shut up for 5 minutes. I swear to God. Right? One more story. Okay, and I'm gonna shut up for 5 minutes. Right. So,
stupid.
It's funny you say that. Saying the facts and all that type of shit. Right. Yeah. So, there was a situation where shit wasn't right, and no one else was saying anything. So I decided, I made a conscious decision to call shit out and like, hey, this shit ain't cool. And I did that, right? And it was this big damn thing and shit. I was causing trouble. I wasn't being a team player. I wasn't buying into the philosophy and all that good shit. Blah 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 blah.
Team
all that
player.
Type of shit.
That's a whole other conversation after
right? And then whatever happened, and this person, all of a sudden, this person that was let go, all of a sudden, they came back. And I'm just like, fuck? You know what I mean? Like, hold up, I thought you was gone and shit.
TK said, no, he not. He said, you ain't gonna be quiet for 5 minutes.
So then, like, this person was back, and like obviously I'm trying to figure out what's going on and shit. Like, so what's happening? And well, I was let go because of X, Y, and Z, but this wasn't answered, and I had this question, this and that. And like after they had fired this motherfucker, they found out that like, no, we really don't have the grounds to fire this motherfucker, and, but it wasn't really that. Yeah. What it was is that the person that they had let go was smart enough to realize like, okay, I had brought this up, and all of a sudden I'm getting a lot of feedback, a lot of negative feedback.
So I'm telling all you niggas.
Yeah, and you guys hadn't really gone through the process, the proper process to let me go from my job when and called them on it. Mm-hmm. And they found out they was fucking wrong and shit, and they had to bring the motherfucker back. And so now, like, that same motherfucking leader, I'm not gonna say no names, obviously, nothing like that, but that motherfucking leader is just like eating crow, like.
Right.
Hey, team, so, and then obviously, because the shit was so awkward, they moved the motherfucker to somewhere else and shit, right? But my point is this, man, like, the motherfuckers know they be wrong. Like, they know it. For sure. And they take the actions to try to cover that shit up. Yeah. And try to make it feel like it's on you and shit.
So let me ask you this. I don't want to dwell on this story and shit, because I know you said you wanted to move away from that shit. But
you make TK right and shit.
Well, I gotta ask you though, because you mentioned that story and you said that basically, dog had to eat crow and shit. But like, if they had responded like, you know what, we fucked up, we done some shit that we shouldn't have done and shit, would you respect that more and shit? Like, would it make the company more respectable?
Yeah, like I wouldn't have been like on board, like, ooh, I love you, know what I mean? But like, it would have made it more respectable.
But it'd be like, damn, at least they
okay,
said,
y'all fucked up, y'all was wrong, you admitted to the shit, you trying to make it right. Gotcha.
For sure.
I fuck with that. Okay, cool.
Dog, but dude, I'm gonna ask all of y'all this because we all been in corporate settings and shit. Have you ever experienced a company actually do that? Cause I haven't. I have not. I have not experienced a company actually a personal experience where like in that situation, like somebody got fired and they know they wasn't supposed to and shit, and a company came back and like kind of just told the other employees like, you know what, we acted in a certain way, like we shouldn't have done that type of shit. I've never experienced that. So with that being said, anytime corporate want to do some shit, anytime corporate America make decisions that I think are unfavorable, and they never take ownership of that shit, like that's always been my experience. So I don't expect them to do shit else. So that's why I don't trust fucking corporations like I don't trust the government, dog. Like that shit just like I don't know. I guess it's a fairy tale for me to even think that a company would do that.
I guess the difference is this: like corporations and companies and businesses or whatever they work for, like I think I don't know. I could be totally wrong, off base. I think a lot of people assume that they're trying to do right by me, right? Yeah. And I just think a lot of folks just think especially me, the government is just fucked up.
Especially
no matter whatever happens, if I vote, if I don't vote, if I volunteer, if I don't, whatever it is,
you're justified.
Yeah. So,
sure.
I don't know, man.
Hey, side note though, shit. That Jim Beam looking full as hell. Ain't nobody drinking that.
Ain't nobody touching that shit.
So
ain't nobody use a Jim Beam, but y'all kind of suck a little bit.
Nah, that Jim Beam looking full as hell. The white label.
I'm the only one touching this Evan Williams, and I'm kind of embarrassed at how much I've taken out by myself.
I went there.
Well, see, I'm gonna tell you again. My whole situation when we was recording the show is that the Four Roses just go so good with this cigar. That's why I just keep drinking this shit.
That Evan Williams, that's. Hey.
He said that's fire for you and shit, right?
Evan Williams is straight, but it's just it's a little too sweet for me. That's all.
He said it's too sweet for you.
A little bit.
Yeah. Hey, again, we talking about the whiskeys that we reviewed on our actual show. That actual show does drop on Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on eblockradio.com, so make sure you check that out. We're talking about whiskeys under $20. So if you doing bourbon on a budget, then you can make sure you do. Yeah, you move the Uncle Nearest to the back and shit.
Uncle Nearest ain't under 20.
Right, but and even though Uncle Nearest is not our sponsor, we love that shit. All right, so
watch every episode. I'm learning a lot just being a guest.
Right, for sure. So, like I say, if you want to, we talking all whiskey on the actual show on Wednesday. This right now you're tuned in to the BBW-Happy Hour. So this is when we just start talking shit about everything else after we start drinking this shit. You know what I'm saying? Other shit, dog.
Other shit.
Yeah, other shit. But just we're gonna move away from corporate America, dog. For real. Let's
go
ahead. I didn't have no easy transition for that. We just gonna talk about some other shit, and then we gonna get out of here because we already been on for an hour. So we'll jump off this shit.
That's all right.
Don't forget, if you are checking us out right now, feel free to make a comment. We will read your comments live on the air. And if you are on IG Live, you can hit that join button and come talk shit with us like you're in the motherfucking studio, dog.
Hey.
Just like you're in the studio and shit. But Soul Diggy ain't gonna be able to hear you because he ain't got no headphones.
Nope.
But it's okay. We'll be able to hear you and we'll be able to respond to shit. So let's move to some lighter shit before we get out of here, dog. So we talking about whiskeys and stuff. And I think that a lot of times when we talk about whiskey, I know originally when I started drinking whiskey and bourbon, me and Angry Principal was having this conversation because it was twofold. It was bourbons and whiskeys, and it was golf courses
Yeah.
that kind of put you into like a different element. Like you get to meet and mingle with people that you wouldn't normally be able to. So that goes with now three things: whiskey, bourbon, the golf course, and cigar lounges. All right, so cigar lounges too put you into a different thing. And what I mean by that is that you're able to speak about things that most people are not able to. So that means you get to have conversations with people who would normally have conversations with you. So I think that's the exciting thing. So I just wanted to ask you this and shit, especially for you, Soul Digging, because like me and you. Kind of like we whiskey converts, like we novices, like we just coming into this. So like coming from, I know we talked about this off camera about how we used to drink cognac, basically just to drink. Like we was trying to get drunk, we didn't really care about the taste of it or whatever. So when we got into whiskey and bourbon, like
Canada,
we really
Don Cherries and shit.
Oh, fucking Don Cherries, dog. Dog, the Music Cafe.
The Music Cafe? What? What?
Anyway, dog, that shit just
way back in the day.
That shit brought. Dog, speaking of Don Cherry, dog, another time.
Oh shit, we almost got into a fight that
Another
night.
time.
Damn.
Dog,
y'all?
Yes. So real quick, though, let's tell this story, dog. I'm in Don Cherry. Shout out to my
This
nigga.
before I even enrolled at the school and
Wasn't
shit.
even in the school. Dog, so me and Day Day, shout out to my nigga Day Day, dog.
Yeah.
Me and Day Day was over in Canada, dog, at Don Cherry's. So my dog done dipped off. He done dipped somewhere fucking around. I'm at the bar. I done grabbed 2 Coronas. I'm two-fisted because Coronas was like motherfucking $1 or some shit. Like it was goofy as hell. So I got 2 Coronas and shit. So I hear some niggas behind me like Q. The fuck? So I turn around. I look. I don't recognize these niggas. Now, first of all, they had came on a visit to Adrian. So I ain't remember. You know
we
what
had
I'm
chopped
saying?
it up with these niggas and shit.
They had chopped it up with us, but I ain't remember who they was. And I ain't expect to see these niggas in Canada. So they nigga like Q and shit. I turn around, I look like shit.
He was on all bullshit too.
All bullshit, because at that point, you know, I was in my bullshit years and shit, you know what I'm saying? It was just me and my mans there and shit. So I grabbed my bottles and shit. I got both of them motherfuckers in my fist and shit. I turned around like, shit, what up? So then
I was with Q Lawson.
Yeah, you was with Q and shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was you or Q and shit, but one of y'all was like
I think
like
Q,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
like you know Cardillo. So that's my shout out to my nigga Corporate Cody and shit. And I'm gonna tell you, back in them days, we was on all bullshit. So they asked me about my mans. I'm thinking like, what this nigga done did. So immediately, I thought about that shit. And I was gonna be like, nah, I don't know that nigga. But then I just turned into 48205, nigga, Red Zone. Shout out to the Red Zone, 48205 and shit. But like, I clenched them motherfucking bottles, stuck my motherfucking chest out.
I was about to play drums on that motherfucker with them goddamn bottles and shit.
Hey.
Fuck your bottles, nigga.
Yo,
Bow.
I put my motherfucking chest out. I'm like, yeah, I know that nigga, cuz, what up? In my head, I'm thinking,
I'm
what
like,
this
hold
nigga
up, bro.
done
It
did?
ain't even gotta be all about that, cuz.
No, so
Like, hold on, man.
They was like, nigga, Adrian College, nigga, oh shit. Like, what up, niggas? Like, hey.
Damn.
It was, I didn't know. I had turned into high alert real quick, dog. Like, that's what I'm saying.
The
Me and
funny
this
thing,
nigga,
though,
dog.
you would have thought like it was COVID back then, though, because like that nigga was about 10 feet away, and like we kept our distance too. So I was
That
like,
nigga
hey, bro, and this nigga was like,
I think said you thought it was COVID.
Damn.
yeah, I know that nigga. Like that, like for real, like aggressive as fuck. You know what
Yeah,
I'm like, oh, for real, bro. Like, I
Dog,
was like, it ain't even gotta be about all that, bro.
bro,
You know what I mean?
I didn't know. I really
Yeah.
didn't know. I thought it was going down in Canada.
It almost did though.
Cause I'm thinking like, damn, this nigga. I ain't gonna put my mans out, but like we was on hot shit back then, so I'm figuring this nigga done did some goofy shit. Probably one of these niggas bitches or something. Like they mad. And I'm like, and then I always see, and this is why I'm glad.
All in Windsor, just
All in Windsor.
All in Windsor.
All in Windsor. And this is why I'm glad that I'm older now and like sane and shit. Because back then it was 2 things that I first of all, I'm short. So like it's 2 things. I was always shorter than everybody, so I was always mad because of that and shit. But then outside of that, and this is probably the dumbest shit ever, but shout out to my man Angry Man. We had this conversation all the time because of what happened to Adrian. Actually, I got a story about that too. But like in my head, this is what always play out in my mind, dog. Like if I get hold, I gotta go back to the block. I always worry about what niggas go think of me if I get hold somewhere, and that's fucked up. That's the goofiest thing to think, but that's exactly what was on my mind. Like. Dog, that's how we came up.
Reputation is everything.
Dog, and it's fucked up. It should never be like that, bro. Yeah. But that's the first thing I thought. Like, dog, if I get hold in Windsor and shit, I gotta go back to the hood. Somebody go find out. Dog, and that's what made me. Yep. That's what made me make that decision. I could have been like, shit, I don't know that nigga, cuz, and just chill. But I was like, no, I'm gonna defend this nigga honor.
How many niggas are dead because of that
shit? Right. Probably all the ones I know.
And you know what? That's the whole shit I was on too. So like, I was trying to keep my distance with this nigga. Like, you know, hey, bro, you know. Like for real, we might have been about 10 feet away from each other and shit. You know, like we was literally like shouting and shit. You know, shit was
niggas that far away though, cause he said this shit though. He was like, "Shit, we wasn't gonna approach it because I ain't know."
Yeah, like I told him, I was like,
dog,
I wasn't sure
on all hot shit. But all right, real quick story about Adrian College though. So when we came back to the hood, I was just telling my nigga like, and I ain't even like, you know, I ain't really on no shit, but like when me and Corporate Cody went up there and shit, we did a year at Eastern. So when we came to Adrian, it was light work. You know what I'm saying? Like we fucking around at Eastern. We spend a lot of motherfucking weekends at U of M. It's light work when we get to this little motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So when we got down there, bitch, I ain't gonna lie, like we turned up. Like I don't know what was going on in Adrian before we got there, but we made it cool for black people though. I ain't gonna lie. Me and my mans, me and Corporate Cody and shit. So and that's why when a nigga asked about him, I was like, oh shit, this is about some hot shit. But it wasn't about that. But just go back to Angry Man and shit. We used to come back and tell these stories about, you know, shit that was going on to Adrian and shit. Like we used to like have fun. We laugh and talking shit about what we used to do in Adrian. Fucking years later, nigga, like maybe 10, 12 years later, he ended up working at the Foot Locker in Adrian. Dog, and this is years later though. So he get to that bitch and dog and run into a nigga who played ball under Bo, I think. Like, but he knew us. Because, you know, this nigga was coaching after the fact. Shout out to my nigga Taz and shit. And a couple other niggas. But he went up there. Yeah, shout out to my nigga Taz. But he was up there working and shit. It snowed like a motherfucker. And a nigga came in there, and I believe it was Taz and shit. I couldn't confirm it because, like, he was trying to describe who it was. I'm pretty sure it was Taz, though. But, like, the nigga came to the store and asked my dog, like yo, you know Q and Cadillo and shit? So he's like, yeah, like Q, it's my motherfucking brother and shit, you know what I'm saying? Damn. So like real shit. So like he like them niggas cool than the motherfucker. He's like, dog, if you whatever you need, nigga, just like I got you. So like this nigga come to the crib and he called me. That's good shit. Dog, he called, he's like, dog, this the realest shit ever. Like years later after y'all niggas left Adrian, like nigga, y'all niggas steal the shit up there. I was like, dog, what you mean? So he told me the story and I was like, that just always reminded me that no matter where you go, like, dog, you gotta be you, and you gotta you can't come back to the hood line, cause that shit will come back to you. Now what if I done came back to the hood, talk about all the shit we done did, all this, and then he go to Adrian and find out we wasn't shit. Like it'd been, dog, and it's fucked up that I even think about that shit, but I thought about that shit. I was just like, damn, nigga, like, what was the odds of that shit though? And a nigga that fuck with us
in Adrian, Michigan,
and the nigga showed him love though. This shit crazy, man. I'll shout out to my nigga Dale and shit. What up, though? That nigga said, what up, Mancini? That's some old shit, though. We used to be rappers and shit. That was my rap name. Mancini Mason and shit.
This nigga knew he was going to be a rapper.
I did, dog. I swear to God I was, nigga. I'm a good poet, though. I'll take that. I keep the poetry.
What's his nigga name?
Huh?
Lil Big Baby and shit?
Lil Big Baby. This nigga dumb as hell, dog. Hey, no, for that's real shit though. But shout out to the AC, man. I learned a lot up there, dog, and I was able to like kind of really like forge my way as an adult male and shit at Adrian College. And I ain't gonna lie,
TK.
Adrian, excuse me, TK and shit. I ain't gonna get into the story of TK and shit. I get into that off camera and shit. TK, I ain't gonna put you on blast.
No,
I'm gonna tell the homies where TK came from. And
I gotta say this though, man.
They gonna be laughing.
My homie TK.
Yeah.
Man, I fuck with that white dude forever, bro.
Yeah, white guy.
White dude.
That's my
guy, man.
That's my guy.
I fuck with that dude to death, man, for
heavy.
sure.
Heavy. real quick, dog. Just recently, when my dog was in Indy and shit, and
oh yeah.
my man he coaching at Adrian. Dog, he coached a game, drove down to Indy to fuck with us for this man's birthday.
And then drove back.
And then drove back.
Morning and shit.
Dog, that's our brother.
That's my guy, bro.
Yeah, that's our brother, nigga. Fuck that.
That's
Shit, he was in his wedding. Shit.
When you
I was best man.
That's my brother.
Fuck with you like that.
Hell
Sometimes they be
Shit, and his moms and pops, the family.
They fuck with us too. Yeah,
for sure. That's my brother for
That's
sure.
what's up.
No doubt. Anyway, though, fucking Adrian College, nigga. That shit. And the one thing too, though, and we go jump off into this subject real quick, and then we go get out of here because it's hot and Reggie's upstairs, and I'm home. So.
Hot and ready to be calling, boy.
Hell yeah. When you been drinking, hell yeah. But I just want to speak on Adrian College. Like, that shit was a good experience. Like, we forged our way into that. Like, we realized who we were as as men there and shit. So I will always respect Adrian College and the city of Adrian and shit. Even like it's a weird place. We made it happen. We worked that shit out. It's a weird place. Yeah. But I said all that to bring it all the way back to Angry Principal. So 20 years later, nigga. So, first of all, let me say this. First of all, I've been knowing Angry Principal like my whole life, it seemed like. So, before I went to Eastern University and shit, this man here told me, you should really look into going to a black college. So, I'm going to tell you like this. At this point,
Tuskegee
for sure. At this point, dog, on some real shit, I was like, well, not even then, but even now, I've never been good at school. Like, I was terrible at school. Like, I did just enough to remain eligible to play football, and that was really about it. And I never just really felt like I was good at school. So I felt like if I went to a black college, I was going to fall off because it was going to be too much motherfucking ass and titties. Like, I just didn't think I was going to be able to do it. So that was my perspective on it. 20 some odd years later and shit, I realized I was looking at it all wrong. And he was trying to tell me this shit the whole time. But you know, when you young and you a knucklehead,
you got to figure out shit for yourself sometimes.
Bro, yeah. So I'm looking at the perspective like, damn, I'm not that good at school. I don't want to go down there and get lost in the sauce and shit. His perspective the whole time, which is what I see now, is that when you get amongst people that look like you and that are really looking out for your best interest, they are not going to let you fail. I didn't look at it like that.
Heavy.
My nigga, it took me 20 years to understand that. 20 years.
20 years for sure.
I would have went to Tuskegee in a heartbeat if I'd have thought about the shit like I think about it now. I'm thinking like if I get down there like, fuck, I'm going to get lost in the sauce. Not thinking that when I get down there and people look like me, they gonna be like, nah, nigga, we got you. We gonna get you on the straight and narrow.
To be totally fair though, at that age, 18, 19, you know what I was? Yeah, I wanted to go play ball in college.
Yeah.
I was thinking about these females.
Hell yeah,
like,
facts.
And they will be down there, like no doubt for sure. Like I know they would be, right?
For sure.
I went on a visit down to Clark Atlanta University, me and my pops, right?
Clark.
My pops looked at me and was like,
hey, wait. Shout out to the whole AUC, my
man. I'm saying.
Anyway, go ahead.
My P4, the owner of P4 Custom went to Clark.
And I could not understand how he survived.
So, show the glass one more time for P4 Custom.
P4 Custom.
Yeah, P4 Customs, man. There you go.
I know about it.
Clark Atlanta University, bro.
My own pops told me, you ain't ready for this. He's like,
don't do it.
You will not thrive down here. Like,
yeah.
And maybe that was just his opinion. Who knows? You know what I mean? But like, that's my pops. So I took his opinion seriously and shit, right? It's like, okay, maybe I'm not ready for this. You know? And that's why I went to Adrian and shit. But
But looking back on it though, if
shit could have turned out way differently.
It could have turned out differently, and if my perspective had been different.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So Angry Principal was the first one to even really like introduce that idea to me, that concept. And real quick, rest in peace to Coach Reynolds, man. Coach James Reynolds from King High School. Rest in peace to Coach Reynolds.
Good man.
He played ball at Tuskegee, and like he always talked about Tuskegee, but he never forced it on us though. He was always like he wanted everybody to go to college, but I think even in his head he felt like black college wasn't for everybody, and I think that's where he might have missed something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, and not to take anything from his coaching, but I think he probably had our same perspective. Was like, we come from a place where I think I'm gonna go down that bitch and get lost in the sauce, and I think he was thinking that too. But I wish I'd have had the same perception as my 20-year older self have now, because I'd have been like, you know what, I may go down there and get lost, but there's people down there who actually have my best interest in in mind. Like you go to these what you call a PWI and shit, predominantly white institutions. Then at the end of the day,
it definitely don't have your best interest.
Hell no, they just trying to get the numbers. Like we got how many people enrolled. They don't give a fuck if you stay or not. Retention is not a thing at white schools and shit. Not for us. Retention is not a thing. As long as they get you there, they're good. If you drop out, they don't give a fuck.
So you've been talking to your nephew right now. He's trying to make his decision on where he's going.
Now he's trying to go to A&M though, right?
He's trying to go to A&M.
Okay.
So
Alabama
A&M. So the thing is, I could not have gone to A&M, Clark, Morehouse, or anything because they're in bigger cities. Yeah. Too many distractions. Tuskegee was perfect for me because it's in the country. You by yourself, and all I can do is concentrate on school. That's what I got to do.
I see that.
If I had gone to Clark,
because Clark is downtown Atlanta,
I would have been in trouble.
Yeah. Bro, I'm telling you,
serious trouble.
We was in Adrian, and we used to go to fucking Atlanta every summer it seemed like, because Corporate Cody auntie lived down there, so we would just go down to that motherfucker, just be down there. And I remember, one of my homies, I can't remember who was down there. They was going to what else is on
shit, everything.
Morehouse, right? Morehouse.
Morris Brown at the time.
So
Morris Brown just got their accreditation.
They just got that shit back. So I peeped that. Tyree, what up, my guy and shit? What up, though?
Tyree, what up, though?
But yeah. So he went to Morehouse, and then like basically this shit is like a big ass complex. So to go to the AUC and shit, basically you gotta get checked in. Like at the gate, like before you even get to all this other shit. So we had to call my man and shit from Morehouse. He came and like got us in. And like we got in that bitch and I was just like, I couldn't understand. How is niggas surviving down here? I'm like, my head was on a swivel cause I'm like, dog, I can't do it. But see,
there are enough variations of black colleges where you can get what you need out of the campus based on what you want.
Facts.
Now,
and that's facts. Yeah, we know that now.
We know it now. Yeah, we know it now.
So that's the big thing is getting the word out to everybody.
Yeah.
However your personality or whatever your learning style is, there's a black college.
There's one for you.
Yeah, there's definitely a black college.
I'm gonna tell you which one is not for me though. All right, and we gonna get off of this and get out of here and eat this pizza and shit. But one that's not for me. It's motherfucking what's that motherfucking DC?
Howard.
That shit's not for me.
Oh wow.
Dog, so
not at $49,000 a year. No, it's not.
Well, I don't think it was that.
They would not have done. I can't do it. I had to actually tell my son, sorry, man. I can't do $50,000.
I don't think the cost was that much back then.
It was still more than everywhere else.
Well, I'm gonna tell you why I couldn't do it. So shout out to my man 2G's and shit. So me and 2G's roll out to Howard homecoming and shit, man. Shout out to my nigga in that bitch like Wu-Tang and shit. That's his cousin. I ain't gonna put his name out, but we call that nigga in like Wu-Tang because for whatever reason he kept getting drunk and he just kept saying that shit. We this bitch like Wu-Tang, so we just kept saying that shit. So shout out to my guy. But so we got to that motherfucker, dog, homecoming weekend. Never been to a black college homecoming. So we get to that bitch, we on campus and shit.
Oh boy.
This is like a Friday. We walk.
If you never been to one, you better make your ass get to one.
Bro, if you never been to a black college dog,
boy.
I'm trying to tell you. So we on campus. We walking around. I'm talking about when I tell you, bro, these women look like they was going to the hottest club in the city. It is 9:30 in the morning.
They're going to class.
They're going to class, nigga. So I asked my mans, I'm like, man, these hoes showing out for homecoming. Dog was like, man, that's every day. Man, hell no. I can't be here, dog. I'm not good enough at school. That's
every black college.
I know, that's why I was scared. That's why I was scared to go. That is why I was scared to go.
I will put the women of Tuskegee up against anybody.
Yeah. You gotta get the awareness out, you know what I mean?
The most beautiful women that you ever meet in your life. But
it's got to be a real option though.
Right, but you got to.
It wasn't a real option for me. I was scared.
We as older people who've gone through college already need to show the example and give our students the opportunity to go to these other places and research what these colleges have to offer to our students.
Yeah, for sure.
Like my man Thon Maker's brother, I forgot his first name. He's headed to Howard. Yeah. I'm so proud of him just for making that choice. Yeah, if you're good enough, you're gonna make it to the league.
Because he was a hella recruit though.
Right, and that's one thing YouTube and social media has shown. You can be anywhere. If you're good enough, they'll find you and they'll take you there.
Especially now.
Now you have to actually pick what's best for you.
You can make your own highlight reel off of social media.
Y'all young bros out there that play ball, whether it's football, basketball, whatever, baseball, whatever. If you good, you
can go anywhere on fucking
I'm not talking about like you all league good. If you like the best in the state good, top 10 good. So motherfuckers gonna find you, bro. You know, like they gonna find
What's
you.
his name? Duncan Robinson played for Miami.
Yeah,
he went to
D3.
Division 3 school.
Yeah. Before he transferred to Michigan. Yeah.
He's a Division 2. Who cares? Is he good enough?
Cats are
McNair went to Alcorn State. McNair is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever.
I ain't gonna lie, motherfuckers fall through the cracks and shit like that. Like, I get that. But the more of us that start to frequent these schools, like, and not just like everyday students like me, you, or whatever, but you know, these 4 or 5 star athletes and stuff like that, like, hey, y'all start to frequent these schools, you'll see your value climb.
Look,
for sure. You'll see that.
Jackson State is making a killing right now with all their 4 and 5 star recruits that are transferring from these majority institutions.
And Deion Sanders.
I was gonna say for Deion Sanders, yeah, sure.
But that's marketing. That's
they got that right.
That's good business.
It is.
That's all it is. And they social media that they putting out there with the coaches, trying to recruit people to Jackson State. That is pure beauty in marketing.
Because all you need, like at that level, right? So, was it football subdivision or whatever it's called now? 1AA. That's what I'm gonna say, right?
Yeah, 1AA.
At that level, right? All you need is 1, 2, 4 or 5 stars, 3 stars, something like that. That program is gonna be changed forever.
Hell yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
You're gonna dominate obviously your conference and when all them people you play and shit like that. You're gonna bring attention to the SWAC and the MEAC and all that shit, right? You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, y'all cats is out there as balling. These HBCUs, that is a very, 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 very viable option to go and play your ball at, cuz, like, for real.
And I want y'all to understand
if you want to go to the league, and you will get there. Yeah, believe me.
And I want just keep Tuskegee in mind, please. Tuskegee all the way.
And I want y'all to understand this too, though. Like people who watching, like whether you actually a recruit or like you the parent of a recruit right now and shit. This is what I want y'all to really understand. When Bo talked this shit, dog, this not just niggas sitting around talking. Like, this man has coached college football, has actually intern coached for the Detroit Lions. Like, so he's done professional football coaching. So this not bullshit talking.
I know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Yeah, this not bullshit talking. This is real talk. This is real recruiting. This is real coaching. Like, this not, we not fucking playing. Yeah, for sure. Like, we not fucking playing. So, like, this is not just some niggas drinking fucking whiskey and talking shit. This is real shit. Yeah, this is real shit.
Are you good? Niggas gonna find you. I don't care where you at, bro.
I just want to make sure y'all understood that.
Dude, like, I don't even coach college football no more. And I'll be on huddle, like, every day. Like, damn, this is because I'm enamored by the talent. Like, I'm enamored by, like, the effort, like, these young kids put into this game and whatnot to change their lives, to change their family lives and stuff like that, right? Yeah. So if I'm not even coaching college ball no more, and I'm looking at it, only imagine what these cats is looking like. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to do every day, day in, day out. They evaluate talent, and I'm telling you, bros, like, if you don't think the HBCUs is a viable option, like, you need to reevaluate your situation, man.
And I swear I wish I had this perspective back in the day. I didn't, though.
Who got your best interest in mind?
I tried to tell
You tried. I tried. I can never take that from you, though. You definitely tried to instill that in me, and I was looking at it completely wrong. I was scared.
18 and didn't want to listen to the 22-year-old trying to tell him what to do.
Hey,
that's all.
That's what. At
the end of the day, though, he sounded like a nigga who just went there. He just wanted to provoke me.
You don't know he's my nigga.
Exactly. I was just the guy dating his sister. I wasn't giving him some good advice.
Right.
You found your wife there.
Right. On that note, man, we done had a lively conversation, dog. It's about time to ride up out of here, dog. I do want to thank everybody for checking us out today on the live. Don't forget to make sure that you do tune in Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you see the actual Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey podcast, where we're talking about Jim Beam, Four Roses, and Evan Williams. We're talking about good bourbons and whiskeys under $20. So that's what we're talking about on that new show coming out on Wednesday.
And if you want to spend over $20,
you know what I'm saying, make sure you get that Uncle Nearest. And again, Uncle Nearest. Shout out to Uncle Nearest, who is not our sponsor, but we just love that shit.
Shout out to my cuz for buying that for me for New Year's.
Oh, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that for sure. I had to
shout him out one more time.
I had to say that. What's up?
What's that Instagram?
P4 Customs, right? That's the
P4
Instagram.
Customs.
So shout out to P4 Customs, dog, who created this actual what do you call this? What do you call this kind of glass?
I mean,
No, it's glass.
I'm not sure. I just know
It's swirl your bourbon around. Yeah, for sure.
That's dope. I gotta get that.
Yeah. So you see the Q on there. So yeah, that's me. Personalized and shit. So make sure you hit P4 Customs, dog. Tell them that I sent you. You don't get shit off of it, but just tell them that you know. It's cool.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing, dog. All right, so look, like we always end off and shit. I know we have final sentiments on the actual show, but we're gonna go around one last time. And whatever you want to leave the people with, man, you can go ahead and shoot your shot and let them know, what you want to leave them with, dog. So, Bo, what you say, dog, on your way out?
Hey, two things, right? Number one, vote for this dude, podcast of the year. Yeah. The whole podcast network.
That description is right. I mean, that link is right in the description. So right now, as you're watching, you can click that link and vote for E Block Radio for podcast of the year. Make sure you do that shit.
If we keep you all entertained and it cause you all to ask each other some questions and get some conversation started, please vote for this dude, right?
Sure.
Number two, I'm talking to all the black kids out there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Like, it's cool to be smart. Don't be afraid to be the square. Like, if you smart, cuz. Go ahead and use that shit, advance yourself and your family, and put somebody else on. For real. That's what it's really about, bro.
Facts. That's what's up.
Right on.
So, Dickie, what you say, bro?
So, as a guest to the show, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be here in the studio with y'all. I've had a ball. I've learned some stuff about whiskey and all of that. For anybody that's watching, continue to watch the episodes that are coming here. Vote. And then don't forget the Cash App. That's how you continue to support this show.
For sure. Good look. Appreciate that shit, dog. Angry Principal, dog. What you say?
All I can say is drink what you like. Next thing, go out and vote. When it's your turn to vote, go out and vote. So Georgia, come in and you got to vote. Next, P4 Custom. Great job. Excellent job with the glasses. I love them and appreciate it. I hope everybody takes the time to go to their website and check them out, especially on Instagram. You can see what they're about. Keep your black colleges in mind and hey, Tuskegee! Woo! Woo!
Yeah. He has been an advocate of Tuskegee for so long, bro.
Good stuff.
Okay. For so long, dog. On that note, man, we're going to get up out of here, dog. For sure, though, if you do enjoy our content, make sure that you do vote for us for Podcast of the Year, man. Click that link in the description right now, for sure. And look, you know what? The way the system is and shit, at this point, you can vote several times. So even if you voted once, you can keep voting all the way up until December 28th, all right? So you can keep voting all the way through. So just keep clicking that link and keep clicking fucking E-Block Radio. I've been drinking a lot.
Oh, yeah, and Damn That's Good Bourbon Guild.
For sure.
Damn That's Good Bourbon Guild.
Oh, yeah. What? Make sure that you follow Damn That's Good Bourbon Guild on IG, man. Make sure that you do follow Beers Bourbon Whiskey on IG and shit. And, I guess we're going to do our personal shit. What you about to say?
Keep a lookout for our beer products. They coming out real soon.
Coming out real extra soon. Extra soon.
Can we get Soul Deacons like a profile of your beard on there? You know, we ain't gotta put your face on there or nothing like that. But
see, we can use it for the for real logo. And shit.
I don't know if I'm in here anywhere.
Yeah, you
look at that smooth, sweet ass beard right there, bro. See what I'm saying?
For sure.
So keep an eye out for the beer products.
Now, what you about to say though?
Just one thing.
Go ahead.
I'm a guest on the show, but I'm also a singer. So in 2021, we will be doing some stuff I would like to also promote. You may see me coming on this show. I might be singing with Monk while he's cooking. I might be over here just promoting another show. So
ain't no might be, bro. Soul Digger's definitely gonna be in the mixture somewhere and shit. My man B Rock just checked in on IG. What up, though? On that note, though, for real, today's show was based on the whiskey, so make sure that you do check out Jim Beam, Four Roses, and Evan Williams if you're looking for whiskeys under $20. Those can be great gift ideas. And also, if you just love good whiskey, you can get that Uncle Nearest. 1884 is my favorite at this point, but they do have 1884. 1856, which is empty right now, and they've got 1820, which we can't get our fucking hands on. So Diddy, if you're watching this right now, could you please get us a bottle, bro? You know what I'm saying? Real quick, Diddy. You know what I'm saying? Holler at us on that 1820.
A few bottles.
A few bottles, right?
Hey, yo, E41 last night, though.
No. No, too cheesy for sure.
That shit was sweet, but E40 last night.
Oh, come on. Like my nigga Too Short
They
said.
both did their thing.
It was a win. It was a win for the Bays.
Shout out to Spice One.
Shout out.
Dog Spice
What? MC8, Sally
out to Spice
Sale,
One.
all them cats out there for
Right,
the Bay.
Mac
Dre,
Mac
Mac
hell yeah.
Mall, all them cats. Rest in peace, Mac Dre.
Dog, for sure, man. Shout out to the Bay, man. On that note, dog, we up out here, dog. Don't forget to drink responsibly and drink honorably, just like Uncle Near says. Until the next time, man, make sure you do check us out on YouTube, E Block Radio. Make sure that you do follow motherfucking Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey on IG, as well as Damn That's Good Bourbon Guild on IG, man. Make sure you follow us. Until the next time, man, you already know what it is, dog. Shit. Everybody loves BBW. That's Beers, Bourbon, Whiskey, man. We about this thing, dog. I got my man Bo in the building.
I say.
Got my man Angry Principal in the building.
Drink what you like.
We got our guest Soul Deacon in the building. And of course, man, it's your boy Q Lewis holding it down live from the 48205, man. Peace out, y'all.
Man,
Y'all boys
I appreciate y'all, man. That was
for sure.